Hey guys, I'm just getting out of the grocery store here in LA. Ooh, it's hot under there. And I want to rub my face, but I'm not gonna do it because we're not supposed to touch our faces. So I'm just driving back home from the first grocery trip I've taken since we really had to stay in long lines outside the grocery store. And it was a very interesting experience. So I usually shop at Trader Joe's. Those of you in towns with the Trader Joe's are probably familiar with it. It's a specific chain of grocery stores, which I think has a pretty good selection of organic stuff and natural stuff. And it's really interesting. First off, I just want to report from LA that everything's okay. It's slower. There aren't people on the roads. People are quarantining well that I've seen. I mean, I've been quarantining well, so I really wouldn't know. But there aren't so many people on the roads. The businesses are shut down. We're staying at home. But as far as I've heard, the hospitals are not overloaded. Today's March 31st. And everything seems okay. Then again, I'm also an introvert and my work's already about 98% online. So it's not that different for me. But I just want to report my experience going out for the first time in a week or so. First off, so I got to the grocery store and there are lines drawn where you're supposed to wait to have the 6-foot barrier between you and the person in front of you. And it was fine. It took forever to get in because they're, I guess, keeping account of how many people should be in. And then when they let them out, they let more in. Well, when they leave, I mean, they're not keeping you in the store. So when they let you out, the door's open for you to come out. They let more people in. And it reminded me, it feels like a game. And I don't want to minimize anyone who's been hurt by the coronavirus, or COVID as I call it. It's funny, the word corona, because I work with prana and with making yourself glow. So the idea that this terrifying virus is the word that describes what we who work with prana do is fascinating to me. So with the COVID, it feels like just the rules are changed up. It has not yet touched me or anyone I personally know, which is a blessing, but I also know it's a very real thing, so I'm not minimizing its reality. I do abide by the quarantine. I do stay 6 feet away. I wear my mask when I'm out. I will wash my hands the second I walk inside, etc., etc. So it felt like when you're at an amusement park and they let people into the ride and then you have to wait, and they let more people in and then you have to wait. Very interesting. Also interesting seeing how people follow the rules or don't and empathing everyone's emotion. So I noticed when I was waiting in line, and when I leave the house in general, there's a lot of fear in the air, a ton of fear in the air. And medical studies have shown that feeling that kind of fear, that kind of terror, does lower your immune system. So I just want to remind anyone who may be watching this to do things like deep breathing, do things like earthing, do things like repeat mantras that work for you, do any kind of prayer or mental exercises that work with you to strengthen your mind and your emotional body to hold emotions that make your immunity stronger, like gratitude, joy, appreciation for what is that you can appreciate, that kind of thing. So then I got into the store and I bought things that I don't necessarily usually buy. I bought more junk food than I usually would for comfort. I bought a bottle of rosé and a bottle of champagne, which I don't usually drink, but stuck in the house. I'm like, yeah, I know there are going to be some times, especially with family. You guys know how it is hanging out with family. There are going to be some times that I'm going to want this, so I'm going to get it. Of course, the normal things that I usually eat, which are healthy and vegan, vegetarian, that kind of stuff. The checkout cashiers were wonderful, and that's one of the things about Trader Joe's is that they tend to have really happy, really lovely cashiers. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they succeed so well in creating a work culture that works so well, but they do a great job, and I really appreciate them. And yeah, now I'm headed home to watch the baby again, because I don't know how many of you guys follow me on Instagram, which is where I'm much more vocal and present. But on Instagram, I've mentioned that since the daycares have all shut down, I am now helping to care for my sister's baby, which is interesting. And I love her. That said, it's a very different energetic agreement to be caring for a being several hours per day. So again, sending props out to all of you moms who are watching your kids all day and maybe trying to work too, because the reason I'm watching her is that my sister's still working full time and her husband is as well. So sending so many props out to the medical professionals. And actually, if you are a medical professional, I would love to know from you what you need as far as meditation, energy work, affirmations go, because I'm planning on creating a completely free meditation for you guys to heal you up and to strengthen your energy field. So please let me know what you need in the comments below. I'm going to make it for you in the next several days. Let's see what else. Props out, to the medical professionals. Props out to everyone who's still hanging out and still holding up our society. I find it amazing to see how things are still going. The trash truck is still coming to take trash away. The recycling truck is still coming to take the recycling away. Thank you guys so much. I really hope and intend that this makes us do things more like grow our own food. I wonder who's picking the food. I know who's picking the food, especially out here in California. Usually it's workers who are way underpaid and way overworked. So I'm really hoping that this is an opportunity for us to start growing more of our own food, for us to start banding together in small communities, so that, for instance, if you're a mom who needs someone to help you watch your kids, you're not completely in the dark because you don't know your neighbors and you don't know who you can call on when something like this happens in the future. So definitely encouraging you guys to do your research, see how you can grow food. I've seen some amazing videos of people growing through bricks in pavement. It's incredible. So just also reminding those of you whose jobs have moved to being online to take your time and go slow. So many of my friends whose jobs were in person and they were kind of workaholic-y, running themselves at a pace where burnout was high, are now working online. And now that they're getting used to it, running themselves workaholic at a pace that's going to cause burnout. And so I really think that this is a time that we're being given the opportunity to slow down and to see what is an actual thriving pace for us. Not just surviving, not just, well, I'm not dead or really sick, but how can we blossom? How can our wellness, even for instance, the teachers. I plan on making a more in-depth YouTube video of what I've learned in the past 10 years of online teaching, because teaching online is very different than teaching in person, very different. Some major differences that I think are really beautiful, but there are different boundaries you have to hold. So reminding you to allow this time to not just go right back into the pace that you were doing before, which obviously doesn't work well for the wellness of the human. Depression and suicide are huge right now, especially in American culture. So reminding you to take time, spend time with yourself, do your inner work, work out, do some yoga, do some sit-ups, whatever it is. Go for a run, get in nature if you can at all. And yeah, we're all in this together. We're gonna be fine as a species. This is not gonna take us out. And also just reminding you that I'm here in LA and we're okay. I've definitely heard from friends and family all over the nation that the news stations are making it seem like LA is in this crazy, terrifying apocalypse. And look at my face when I tell you, we're fine. We're not in some crazy apocalypse. It's okay. Or if we are, this is the most gentle apocalypse I could have imagined, and I'm grateful for that. So sending you guys lots of love as I back into the parking spot and get ready to go in and slightly caffeinate before I watch the baby all day, because I don't usually, but sometimes it's necessary. I love you guys. Please let me know, medical professionals, what you guys need in order to be nourished on an energetic level. I would love to make you some medicine. Okay.